Here are some of the most expensive naval vessels ever built, ranked by their individual construction costs. It can be challenging to determine exact figures, as they often fluctuate based on the year they were calculated, whether they include research and development costs, and how they have been adjusted for inflation. But let's take a closer look. Number 10. The Type 055 destroyer. This is a class of guided missile destroyers being built for the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy. While the exact cost is not publicly disclosed, it is estimated to be less than $1 billion per ship. As of early 2025, the People's Liberation Army Navy has commissioned 8 Type 055 destroyers. The first, the Nanchang, was commissioned in January 2020. More ships are reportedly planned or under construction. The Type 055 is a multi-mission guided missile destroyer, though its size with a full load displacement of 12,000 to 13,000 tons and capabilities put in the cruiser class by Western standards. At number 9, the Canberra-class amphibious assault ship. Canberra-class amphibious assault ships for the Royal Australian Navy had a total program cost of around $2 billion. These ships are based on the Spanish Navy's Juan Carlos I class amphibious assault ship, but were modified to meet specific Australian requirements. The construction process involved a collaboration between Naval in Spain, which built the hulls, the BAE Systems Australia, which completed the fit in Australia. It is important to note that this figure represents the acquisition cost, excluding the sustainment cost. Number 8. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. The latest version of the Arleigh Burke class, known as the Flight 3, is the most advanced expensive ship. A 2025 Congressional Budget Office report indicated that the average cost per hull for a Flight 3 destroyer is about $2.5 billion, a rise from previous estimates of around $2.1 billion. This increase is due to the integration of new systems, most notably the air and missile defense radar. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyer program is one of the longest-running and most successful shipbuilding programs in the U.S. Navy history. Because it has spanned several decades and different flights or variants of the ship, determining a single program cost is complex. However, we can break down the cost into individual ship costs and the overall program scope. Number 7. The Virginia-class submarine. The cost of an individual Virginia-class submarine is a multifaceted figure that changes over time. Recent estimates from the Congressional Budget Office and other sources indicate a total cost of around $3.45 billion per unit. The newer Block 5 submarines, which include the Virginia Payload Module VPM for additional missile capacity, have a higher price tag. The cost for these more advanced submarines is estimated to be around $4.3 billion per unit. The program's costs are a major point of discussion in the Congress, as the submarines are a cornerstone of the U.S. Navy's future strategy. The Navy and its shipbuilding partners are actively working to address the cost and the schedule challenges to meet the demand for these crucial submarines. Number 6. The Queen Elizabeth class. The cost to build each Queen Elizabeth-class aircraft carrier is approximately $3.8 billion, according to the Economic Times. This figure refers to the unit cost of the carriers, not the total program cost for both, which includes the HMS Queen Elizabeth and the HMS Prince of Wales, and is higher overall. It is important to note that this amount covers only the design and construction of the carrier themselves. The total expense for the UK's carrier strike group capability is significantly higher, as it also includes the procurement of the F-35B Lightning II fighter jets, escort destroyers and frigates, as well as ongoing operational and maintenance costs for the ship and their air wings over their decade-long service lives. Number 5. The Charles de Gaulle. The final cost of building the Charles de Gaulle was approximately $4 billion, which was completed in 2001. This figure was a substantial increase from initial projections, and was a major point of discussion in France at the time. When adjusted for inflation to today's values, the cost of the Charles de Gaulle would be considerably higher, with some sources estimating it to be over $4.5 billion. The cost of the French aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle R-91 is a significant and complex figure, primarily because it's a single, unique vessel and the only nuclear-powered carrier built outside of the United States. Its construction was also plagued by delays and technical issues, which led to cost overruns. At number 4, the Seawolf-class submarine. The Seawolf-class submarine program is a prime example of a military program that was significantly affected by the end of the Cold War. The submarines were designed to counter the most advanced Soviet naval threats, but their high cost led to the program being drastically scaled back. The cost of an individual Seawolf-class submarine was approximately $3 billion per unit in the 1990s. When adjusted for inflation, this figure is much higher, with some sources estimating the cost to be over $5 billion in today's dollars. Following the collapse of the Soviet Union, the need for such an expensive and specialized submarine was questioned. The program was cancelled after only 3 submarines were built. Number 3, the Nimitz class. The Nimitz class aircraft carrier program, which began in the 1970s, is a perfect example of how the cost of a program can vary dramatically over its lifespan due to inflation, technological upgrades, and changes in defense spending. While the program is now complete, with the last ship, USS George H.W. Bush, being commissioned in 2009, was estimated to be $6.2 billion today. The total program cost for the 10 Nimitz-class aircraft carriers is in the hundreds of billions of dollars. This figure includes not only the procurement of the ships, but also their subsequent refueling and complex overhauls, which are major, multi-year projects that can cost several billions of dollars per ship. Number 2, the Zumwalt-class destroyer. Estimates for the unit cost vary, but most sources place the figure at approximately $4.24 billion to over $8 billion per ship. These figures are far higher than the U.S. Navy's original projections of around $1.3 billion per ship. The dramatic cost overruns and subsequent reduction in the number of ships built ultimately led to the program being truncated, and the Navy has since shifted its focus to the more affordable but still advanced Flight 3 variant of the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. At number 1, the Gerald R. Ford class. The program is the most expensive and complex military undertakings in history, with costs that are a constant topic of discussion due to technological challenges and budget overruns. The lead ship, the USS Gerald R. Ford, serves as the high watermark for the class's unit cost due to it being the first ship and bearing the brunt of the research and development costs. The final procurement cost for the lead ship was approximately $13.3 billion, with an additional $4.7 billion in the R&D costs. The goal of the program was to reduce the cost of subsequent ships by leveraging the lessons learned from the first carrier. The total lifetime cost of the program, including the full operational lifespan of the ships, estimated to be around 50 years each, is often projected to exceed $2 trillion. And with this, we're winding up for today, but stay tuned as we bring you interesting videos from the world of military. We'll see you guys again in our next video. Bye-bye.